welcome back. Well, Israeli Major Officer Nimrod Palmach was in Israel on October 7, and instead of running away from the terror, he went towards it. He's here in Australia and joins me now to talk about what happened on that day. Nimrod, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
So take us back to October 7. You were directed to go to Jerusalem, but you didn't do that. What happened?
So basically I realized something really bad is happening. I watched different videos and understanding the situation in the south is getting bad. I also got a phone call from my ex-wife and her boyfriend. He lives in one of the kibbutzim in Nir Oz, telling me there is terrorists literally outside his safe room door. At that moment I realized I have to defy an order and drive south in order to save life, and as fast as I can, by the way.
And what happened?
I got, right before I got to the highway of the Gaza envelope, I stopped aside to say goodbye to my kids. I realized I'm about to die.
Wow.
I realized.
Goodbye to your children.
So I took a picture of myself on video. They were still asleep. It was really early in the morning. And I did a selfie, and I had 20 seconds to say goodbye to my kids, which was one of the hardest things I had to do. And from that moment on, I put my phone in my pocket, and I decided I'm going into battle. And I have one mission, is to save life. I'm understanding that Hamas has already controlled the kibbutzim, controlled the highways. They are everywhere. It's going to be a long day. And I just went ahead.
So you came across a group of 30 Hamas terrorists. Tell us what happened there.
So it was right outside Kibbutz Alumim, and they were actually planning to go into the kibbutz, to invade the kibbutz, and to do another massacre, like they did in Kibbutz Be'eri. So the moment we got there, they fired on our vehicle. It was an ambush, and I jumped outside the car, and immediately I've seen a half-naked woman laying on the ground. She was half burned, and it was looked really bad, and a dead soldier. I took his weapon, I armed, and I engaged fight. During this fight, I'm behind a car, shooting at the terrorist, and suddenly I feel something in my leg, something soft that prevent me to shoot right. I look down and I see a naked woman laying on her stomach, and you have to understand, this is a highway. It's not and I'm realizing there is a Holocaust around me. I stop shooting at the terrorist, and I look inside the car and I see two young babies dead, shot dead. This is probably their mother. And then I look all over sides and I see more and more of these views, and it was horrible. Eventually we managed to end this fight on our side and prevent these terrorists to go inside the kibbutz and killing more and raping more people.
So end this fight. You managed to defeat that group of 30 Hamas terrorists.
Yeah, I was with a group of soldiers with me. Listen, when you fight for life and for values like human rights, love, empathy, and the other side fights for cherishing death and destruction, it's an obvious win. We won. Our fight and our cause were much better. And eventually we finished that fight and we went on to Kibbutz Be'eri in order to liberate the kibbutz, because the kibbutz was already taken by Hamas terrorists. And I have to tell you, the terrorists in Be'eri really took their time. It was not just killing Jews. They took the time, they mutilated, they did horrible things for women, kids, full families. This is something I've never thought I'd live to see.
So what's your reaction when you see women's and children's groups internationally fail to come out and condemn what happened?
This is a moral issue, and I think it makes me think really deep questions on life and about people and leaders, and it's a question about leadership and your moral fiber. Not be able to criticize and to stand against this kind of evilness. This is simply misunderstanding of the problem. This is not Hamas against Israel. This is a jihad war against us, against Western civilization.
Yes.
That's what needs to be told.
Yeah. Now everyone will be wondering why you're here in Sydney, Australia.
I have a few weeks vacation from the army, and I decided I need to fight for Israel right, to better life, to life. So I decided to go travel in different countries, and I'm meeting parliament members, media outlets, and talk to Jewish communities in order to leave an impact and to expose Hamas crimes.
So it's a stress leave from the army. They've said you take a couple of weeks off as a break.
It's for everyone, meaning that the army gets it, that this war against evilness will take time, so we are doing reliefs, and on my time I decided, instead of just rest or whatever, to come here and to talk to the Jewish community.
The message is so important. Nimrod, thank you very much for joining us. And I just want to point out to all our viewers that when you protected that first kibbutz, you saved 500 lives. That's the biggest mitzvah anyone could ever do. So huge thank you.
Thank you very much.
And after the break, we will cross to Caroline Marcus, who's at the